Have I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? Okay, so I know what's going on in the world. I'm going to ask you to block all that out for a little while. We're not going to talk about that. I've heard from even some of the most influential Christians that the original language, the Hebrew, doesn't matter. We speak English. One day, everybody's going to understand that the Most High does everything for a reason. Amos 3:7. Surely Yah does nothing except he reveals it to his prophets first. Why did he give his word originally in Hebrew? Well, here's something you may not know. Jubilees 12:25. And Yahuwah Elohim said, open his mouth and ears, that he may hear and speak with his mouth, with the language which has been revealed, for it has ceased from the mouths of the children of men from the day of the overthrow of Babel. And I opened his mouth and his ears and his lips, and I began to speak with him in Hebrew, in the language of creation. Yes, Hebrew was the language of creation, the divine language. That's why I kind of laugh at this speaking in tongues thing that people pretend to do. Because if you were going to get a divine language from the Holy Spirit, why wouldn't it be in original Hebrew? Anyway, let me give you a quick 2 examples of why it is important. In the original Hebrew, in chapter 3 of the book of Exodus, the Most High tells Moses that his name is Yahweh, and this is his name forever. The Hebrew characters that make up that name are Yud, He, Vav, He, and this is the original Paleo-Hebrew. I want to stick with that original Paleo in this video. The Yud represents the number 10 in the hand and means mighty work, divine deed, and ordinal perfection. Think of the 10 commandments, but we'll leave the numerics alone for this video. The He means look up or behold. It also means revelation or grace. The Vav represents the iron nail, and means connect together or add, or man's world of sin. Then you have another He. But wait a minute. Hand, behold, nail, behold. Or maybe even, behold, the nail in the hand is your grace. Was he prophesying about the Messiah in the very name that he gave to Moses? The answer is yes. John 3:14. And as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. In Numbers 21, the Israelites had to look up at the bronze serpent in order to be saved. In Isaiah 52:6, therefore my people shall know my name. Therefore they shall know in that day that I am he who speaks. Behold, it is I. Later on, when the Messiah comes around and he's speaking to the woman at the well, and they're discussing the worship of the Father, Yahusha says in John 4:26, I who speak to you am he. Interestingly, Yahusha's name starts with Yud, He, Vav, takes away one of the He's, since he is already there, and adds Ayin and Shin. Ayin, meaning nations, or see and understand, and Shin, meaning Yah Almighty, victory over death, or destroy. Saying a lot without saying a lot, I'm just saying. Let's take it a step further in the other example. Revelation 1:11. Messiah says, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last. But that's not how he would have said it. He would have said it in Hebrew. So not the Greek Alpha and Omega, but the Hebrew Aleph and Tav, the first and last letters of the Hebrew alphabet. Now watch this. Aleph represents the ox and means Yah the Father. And the Tav is represented by cross sticks and means sign or covenant. Yahusha was sacrificed on a Tav. That's one of the reasons he waited to show up until the Romans came around. The Romans had come up with a new form of execution called crucifixion, which happened to use crosses. And a Tav is what the Israelites sacrificed their Passover lambs on to roast in accordance with Exodus 12. And those are just a couple examples of why Hebrew is important. There are so many other prophecies in just the Hebrew language alone. So study to show yourself approved of Yah. Remember, it is the glory of Yah to conceal a matter, but the glory of kings to seek that matter out. He wants you to seek these things out, so seek them out.